Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Welcome. I will do it properly and nicely and invite some people. Hare Krishna Krishna. I want to read about where Krishna led me, where Krishna leads me, and I feel he leads me to Bhagavad Gita 9:30. So let's invite some people. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. So let's see. Bhagavad Gita Chapter 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Chapter 9. The most confidential knowledge. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. It's a short one, so I feel I'm going to that verse and then the purport, or I start with it first. I start with text 30 and the purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. May Guru and Krishna inspire me, empower me to come to him, to come to me. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Jai. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. Purport. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. The word Suduachara the word sudurachara used in this verse is very significant. And we should understand it properly. Let's look back. Suduracharya, one committing the most abominable actions. When a living entity is conditioned, wow, it's very nice. He led me to this. Thank you. When a living entity is conditioned, he has two kinds of activities. One is conditional and the other is constitutional. As for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities, even for the devotees. In connection with the conditional life, and such activities are called conditional. So, again, as for protecting the body or abiding by the rules of society and state, certainly there are different activities even for the devotees in connection with the conditional life. And such activities are called conditional. Besides these, the living entity who is fully conscious of the spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. Wow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Gaura Haridas. Well, activities which are transcendental are called transcendental. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position. The living entity who is fully conscious of his spiritual nature and is engaged in Krishna consciousness or the devotional service of the Lord has activities which are called transcendental. Such activities are performed in his constitutional position, and they are technically called devotional service. Whoa, there are a lot of answers I was looking for in this. Now, in the conditioned state, sometimes devotional service and the conditional service in relation to the body will parallel one another. Wow. This was really what I was looking for. I wanted to remember this or to become conscious of this. But then again, sometimes these activities become opposed to one another. As far as possible, a devotee is very cautious so that he does not do anything that could disrupt his wholesome condition. He knows that perfection in his activities depends on his progressive realization of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes, however, it may be seen that a person in Krishna consciousness commits some act which may be taken as most abominable socially or politically. Such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him, but such a temporary fall down does not disqualify him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated that if a person falls down but is wholeheartedly engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Lord, the Lord, being situated within his heart, purifies him and excuses him, not executes him, but he excuses him from that abomination. The material contamination is so strong that even a yogi fully engaged in the service of the Lord sometimes becomes ensnared. Hare Krishna, I have to translate to Dutch. Ensnared. Wordt verstrikt. Hare Krishna, so it's like entangled, gets entangled, becomes entangled. Hare Krishna, Krishna ensnared. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. But Krishna conscious is so strong that such an occasional fall down is at once rectified. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. Therefore, the process of devotional service is always a success. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path. For, as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall downs will be stopped in due course, as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. No one should deride a devotee for some accidental fall down from the ideal path, for, as explained in the next verse, such occasional fall downs will be stopped in due course, as soon as a devotee is completely situated in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, a person who is situated in Krishna consciousness and is engaged with determination in the process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, should be considered to be in the transcendental position, even if by chance or accident he is found to have fallen. Hare Krishna, he is found to have fallen. Yes. Found by who to have fallen? That's my question. The word sadhur, Eva. He is saintly, are very empathic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly, even if he has accidentally fallen down. And the word mantavya is still more emphatic. Let's see, the word mantavya, was it also in the synonyms? Hare Krishna. Mantavya is to be considered. Mantavya is to be considered. So let's go to the synonyms. It's a habit, I feel, to start with the synonyms. Api, even, set, if. Su durachara, one committing the most abominable actions. Bhajate, is engaged in devotional service. Mam, unto me. Ananya bhag, without deviation. Sadhu, a saint. Eva, certainly. Sa, he. Mantavya, is to be considered samyak, completely. Vyavasita, situated in determination. He, certainly. Sa, he. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna. Wow, it sounds so nice. Just to come back to myself, to to that original position, to myself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, which is not materially but transcendental. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. The words sadhur, Eva, he is saintly, are very emphatic. They are a warning to the non-devotees that because of an accidental fall down, a devotee should not be derided. He should still be considered saintly even if he has accidentally fallen down. And the word Madhavya is still more emphatic. I feel there's a lot of forgiveness here. It's a call for forgive another person, and by doing that you become more clear yourself. Hare Krishna, you become more clear yourself. Hare Krishna, and more empathic. Yes. And the word Mantavya is still more emphatic. If one does not follow this rule and derives a devotee for his accidental fall down, then one is disobeying the order of the Supreme Lord. I feel that's the same as one is pulling up a fence or maintaining his fence. We call it offense. The only qualification of a devotee is to be unflinchingly and exclusively engaged in devotional service. In the Nrsimha Purana, the following statement is given. Bhagavati Chaharav Ananya Cheta Brisha Malinopi Virajite Manusya Nahi Shasha Kalusha Shabi Kadashit Timira Parabhavatam Upaiti Chandra. The meaning is that even if one fully engaged in the devotional service of the Lord is sometimes found engaged in abominable activities, these activities should be considered to be like the spots that resemble the mark of a rabbit on the moon. Such spots do not become an impediment to the diffusion of moonlight. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable. I feel it's even more complete to see that devotee is free from free from judging eyes. He is elevated by Krishna and Guru. Like he is he's elevated above the mode of good and badness. He's not longer under the rules of Mahamaya and the rules and regulations of Mahamaya. He surpassed that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. So we can see it as he is forgiven, but there is nothing to forgive. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. There's nothing to forgive. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna was loving us, all of us, the whole time. Even if we did some childish, immature things, He is seeing with the complete eyes what's going on, and not with the fragmental, judging eyes. He's not looking to us with the eyes of good and bad. He's not looking with the eyes of Vishnu. He's looking with his eyes, who are, oh my God, his eyes are so undescribable, merciful, undescribable, fulfilling, undescribable, magnanimous, undescribable, supreme. The supreme eyes, the supreme eyes, the supreme eyes, the supreme eyes, the supreme eyes. Hare Krishna, the supreme eyes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Similarly, the accidental fall down of a devotee from the path of saintly character does not make him abominable. On the other hand, one should not misunderstand that a devotee in transcendental devotional service, can act in all kinds of abominable ways. This verse only refers to an accident, due to the strong power of material connections. Devotional, for a saint that's playful, I feel, he's free to play. He is excused by by the divine supreme personality of Godhead. He is accepted to be a child of Krishna. Yes, wow. Devotional service is more or less a declaration of war against the illusionary energy. What do I feel with that? And I do not feel this, to be honest. Yeah, more or less a declaration of war against the illusionary energy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. I feel more like Mahamaya says to me, I will make way for you and Krishna if you love Krishna more than me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So what is it to have a war with Mahamaya, with illusion? I feel when so many starts a war with Mahamaya, a lot of energy and attention goes there. So it's not my personal choice to make a war with Mahamaya. I rather prefer to have a cup of tea or coffee with have a good talk, have a good communication in the presence of the conclusive Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs, as previously explained. No one should take advantage of this verse. As long as one is not strong enough to fight the illusionary energy, there may be accidental fall downs. But when one is strong enough, he is no longer subjected to such fall downs. As previously explained, no one should take advantage of this verse and commit nonsense and think that he is still a devotee. If he does not improve in his character by devotional service, then it is to be understood that he is not a high devotee. So, let's continue and find out. I want to know more specific, more clear, what is devotional service? Character by devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. It feels like I want to know what love is. I want to know what character by devotional service is. Hare Krishna, I feel attracted to that functional situation of bhakti, which is said, my guru says, and the scriptures say it's such a complete functionality, complete goal of life, to be functional in devotional service to Krishna, of course. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. So let's continue there. I remember I asked Srila Gauridas, where should my focus be, and where should I read about? And he said, at that moment he said, you talk about pure devotion, pure devotee, pure devotee. So, definition of pure devotee. The definition of pure devotee given by Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu can be summarized. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor. This purity of purpose and the platform of pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. And I recently also read that you are in a transcendental position if you are serving the Lord, if you are a servitor, a devotee. In order to keep the purity of such Krishna conscious activities, one must be freed from all material desires and philosophical speculation. All desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire, and philosophical speculation refers to the sort of speculation which ultimately arrives at a conclusion of voidism or impersonalism. This conclusion is useless for a Krishna conscious person. Only rarely by philosophical speculation can one reach the conclusion of worshipping Vasudeva or Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita itself. The ultimate end of philosophical speculation then must be Krishna, with the understanding that Krishna is everything, the cause of all causes, and that one should therefore surrender unto him. If this ultimate goal is reached, then philosophical advancement is favorable. But if the conclusion of philosophical speculation is voidism, or impersonalism, that is not bhakti. Karma, or fruit of activities, is sometimes understood to consist of ritualistic activities. There are many persons who are very much attracted by the ritualistic activities described in the Vedas, but if one becomes attracted simply to ritualistic activities without understanding Krishna, his activities are unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Actually, Krishna consciousness can be based simply on hearing about Krishna, chanting about him, remembering him, etc. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes 9 different processes, besides which everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Srila Rupa Goswami has also quoted a definition from the Narada Pancharatra as follows: one should be free from all material designations and, by Krishna consciousness, must be cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. So when our senses are engaged for Krishna, the actual proprietor of the senses, that activity is called devotional service. In our conditioned state, our senses are engaged in serving the bodily demands. When the same senses are engaged in executing the order of Krishna, our activities are called bhakti. As long as one identifies himself as belonging to a certain family, a certain society, or a certain nation, he is said to be covered with designations. When one is fully aware that he does not belong to any family, society, or country, but is eternally related to Krishna, then he realizes that his energy should be employed not in the interest of so-called family, society, or country, but in the interests of Krishna. This is purity of purpose and the platform of pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you, Krishna, Sri Krishna and Parampara, the disciplic line, for passing me this information. Hare Krishna, this clarity. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. This knowledge about my true identity. To distinguish, so I can distinguish my true identity from speculations and contaminations and conditionings. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. I don't have to mention all the words for that same distraction, illusion. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. So I continue this celebration, this transcendental celebration, and I will have a look at it if there are any comments. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Madeleine Monroe. Wow, how nice. Wow, I feel a lot of nice energy. Thank you for being here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I don't know if you're still there. I hope so. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You are always there. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. But we do not always feel connected. There is not always this conscious communication and this conscious awareness. Hare Krishna, we are not always awake. Hare Krishna, we do not always remember our connection. Okay, thank you. Let's continue transcendentally. Haribol. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna